All right, so good evening, everyone. It's so awesome to meet our group for our week one group assignment. We are sharing the screen right now. You probably are confused because in the course, my name is Shantae Joyner, and then on my screen, it says Chandi Patrick. Oh, I'll tell you more about that a little bit later when we get started. So I won't go first because I'm already talking. So we want to share the wealth. We know that this assignment does require all of us to give equal input. So I'm going to hush now, but I will keep the agenda there just so that we can know what we're supposed to share throughout the entire Zoom. So who would like to go first?
I can go first. My name is Nicole Harrell, and I work in Houston County. I believe I heard Philip say earlier that he works in Houston County as well. I am at Pearl Stevens Elementary School. I teach fourth grade gifted in EIP, ELA. I serve as the gifted lead of the building as well as on the leadership team. And I am the Junior Beta Club sponsor, and I am the ELA lead for fourth grade. And I believe that is all that I am doing this year. I have been in education, this is year 18, and anything I want you all to know. Let me see. I have one son, and I am my mother passed this summer, so I'm still working through a little bit of grief. And I agree with Heather. I need somebody like you in my life to help me stay organized because sometimes I'm not as organized as I need to be just because I am on that little journey of grief. And I will hush until we're ready for the Title One discussion.
Awesome.
Okay, I can go next. Um, my name is Philip Hoskins. I currently work at Veterans High School in Houston County. I'm currently a Spanish teacher for all grades, 9 through 12. And I also serve on the PBIS team, and I also do um, curriculum development for our county. Um, this is my fourth year in education, and then prior to education, I owned a nail salon for about 5 years. Um, And do you want to discuss the part on the Title I funds?
Well, Nicole said she wanted to wait, so I guess we can do the introductions and then we can just have a conversation. That does sound good to me too. So we can just save that part for after all the introductions.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess the only other thing is I plan to start my doctorate after this program.
Mm.
Oh, congratulations. I'll be
Thank you.
praying for.
Right.
Yes, T.
I'll go next if that's okay. My name is Heather Harvey. It's interesting. I also came from Houston County, CB Watson Primary. I no longer teach. You feel like you knew me? I no longer teach in Houston County. I'm back in Bibb County because that's home for me at Berta Hunt Magnet School. Let's see. My current role is third grade teacher. I am team leader, TSC, coach, lead, and a lot of other titles in the building. Anything personal I want to share? I'm be honest. So I'm getting my title tier one certification. However, I can't say that I'm ever going to leave the classroom.
Oh, I
So
love that.
I'm one of those that I feel like
I
maybe just
love that.
until God has shown me what I need to do, just make sure you're ready. So, but I could stay in the classroom for 30 years and it wouldn't bother me one bit. Let's see what else. I think that's the other question. Oh, and I think something else is interesting. I'm a true primary teacher, but I ended up in third grade because I looped with my kids for 3 years. So I went from first grade to second grade to third grade. But I am true primary all day, every day.
Love
Can I
it.
ask a question?
Yes.
Since you said you were at CB Watson, which is the feeder school to my school, that's why I
Yes,
was
for
like, oh, I know her. I bet you were at CB Watson when my son was there. Do you
who?
remember Huntley Harrell?
Not by now. I might look later on,
You
I
were
might need to see a
okay.
picture. So I was
So
there
you
with
would,
Miss
but
Connor, Dr.
yeah,
Sanders was our principal at first, then Miss Connor, and
okay,
I now Dulcie. So it was
yeah.
about 5 years ago. I was there.
Yeah, you would know Huntley because he was in kindergarten with the little sweet blonde lady. No, redheaded. Um
Um, Louis
with the
hijacking the
King's
meeting.
Chapel. Okay, so sorry. You would know my child. Okay, not that there was any reason to know my child. He was in Broussard's in first grade.
Okay, so Broussard was across the hallway from me. Broussard is in Atlanta now, so
Then you
I'm
would
Harvey that
know him.
was across the hallway. Yes.
Uh-huh, you would know him. So
Small
sorry, y'all.
world.
Small world. Oh my
Small
goodness.
world.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Takina. Here is Takina Leach, but I work in the cab, but in the cab they call me Saxby. Um, I work in DeKalb County Schools. I am an instructional liaison. So basically, it's like an academic coach for our district, but for special ed. So I do training for the district, and then I have an area that I provide training to. I have two kids. My oldest son is a senior this year, so I'm excited. Because I feel like we made it. I had him young, so I feel like Mama, I did it. And then I have a 12-year-old. If anybody knows what AAU is like, so we are always at a practice, and every weekend there is a game. So I am extremely excited to be in a group with individuals who are just like proactive and just ready to get it started. Because like my thing is, I every day I swear I'm in that little campus portal looking at. I just started this semester, by the way. How many more hours I have? How many more credit hours do I have before I finish? So I'm excited. I feel like I'm learning a lot. And then I guess we can. We're gonna talk about the Title I funding together.
Hmm. Well, my name is Shantae Joyner, but on my screen you see Shantae Patrick, and you may even see a name Chandi. So the story behind all of that is my birth name is Chandi Shantae McClurkin. Okay, and then when I grew up, I got married. My name was Chandi Shantae Patrick. Well, I got divorced. Yay. And I am recently newly married. So I just got married this summer. So things are still transitioning as far as name changes. And this Zoom is one of them that I didn't realize I hadn't changed. So and I don't go by my first name. So a little story about that is that my first name is Chandi, Chudney. I am named after Diana Ross's daughter. So I don't know how much you know about Diana Ross and her children, but she does have a daughter named Chudney Ross. Well, my name is spelled exactly like that. However, my parents are a little phonetically challenged, and so instead of us pronouncing it Chutney, we pronounce it Chandi. So that's why I started going by Shantae. But if you look at the screen, people call me, what do you think? Shanta. So it's all over the place. But anyways, that's the answer for that. I do go by Shantae, and of course, my new last name is Joyner. And like you, Philip, we did it on a cruise. So yes, we actually got married we had a destination wedding via a cruise this summer. So that's the story with my name. So I thought I would have more people with me, but I currently work in Muskogee County School District, which is in Columbus, where CSU is. And I've gotten all of my degrees from Columbus State University right here in Columbus, Georgia. And I do have my doctorate, earned that in 2016. So, Philip, you said you were thinking about it. Go for it. It's definitely it's worth it for not only for the monetary purposes, but just for even self-realization purposes. And it is not as hard when you have a reason behind it. So if you think about your why and you really have a true why, and you really think about what you are interested in your study, your research, make it something you're really interested in, and everything else falls into place. So my current role, I am housed at Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School here in Muskogee County, and I serve as an academic coach. This is year 28 in education for me, 28, 29, one of them. I'm really close to retirement. Um, and I've been an instructional coach. This is year 8 for that. Officially, my title is literacy coach because we do have another coach in my building, but we kind of share roles. So I'm instructional coach for everything pretty much. It's very odd. The reason I'm doing tier 1 because I've already actually passed the GACE for this. I should have been grandfathered in for my certification. but we
Um,
tried to add it to my certification even after already passing the GACE with nearly a 100. They said I still had to do this. So it's awesome. It's okay. It's fine. I don't mind new learning experiences, meeting new people, especially meeting people in other districts. And so it is a requirement for me in order for me to be able to become an assistant principal. I've been offered positions, so I have to go ahead and if you, what is the saying? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right?
exactly.
That part is pretty awesome. Let's see, personal information about me. So I have two biological children, a daughter that is 21, and she's actually a junior at Columbus State right now. She is taking a special education, is her major. And then
Well,
I have a 19-year-old son who also is at Columbus State right now. We're a house full of cougars. He is 19 and he is a sophomore at Columbus State. He is a computer science major. And they live here with me and my husband. We are a blended family. So between us, we have six kids, though. My two are the youngest. So we are almost empty nesters. Hallelujah. And so, again, we have three boys, three girls together. The oldest is 31. He just walked in. So 31. Thank you. And then my youngest is 19. So, yeah, so that is pretty much, well, let me see. This would be important for you to know. So the main reason I wanted to reach out to everyone first is because like I said at first, I am very busy. So in addition to working for Muskogee County as an academic coach, I also am the lead instructor for the early childhood program at Miller Mock College, which means I'm responsible for monitoring their early childhood program, the professors that are there, and all of the early childhood students, education students. I'm also responsible for observing them for their externships, which is like the equivalent to doing their student teaching. In addition to that, I am also a licensed real estate agent, licensed in Georgia and Alabama. That's my shameless plug. And I do that full time as well. What else do I do? That's enough. That's important enough.
enough. That
Yes.
is. I was
Girl,
tired just listening for you. Good
we
Lord.
got a whole professor in our group.
It is.
And I am a former professor for Columbus State. Yes,
We
I
got
used to be responsible for all of the science endorsement courses when I first got my
okay.
doctorate. Yeah.
And I want, so it's Dr.
Amen.
Joyner, right?
Yes, Dr.
Joyner?
Joyner.
Joyner, okay.
Amen. Amen. Listen, I'm here for it.
Me
Every
too.
bits of it.
Yes. So I would
Okay.
love to start off the discussion about the Title I part, and then we can get into our schedule for next week, so we can go ahead and wrap everything up. But I would like to start that because my job specifically is funded with Title I, Part A funds. I am not paid by the district at all, theoretically, because I have federal funding. And I've always worked in Title I schools for all of my 20 some years. And so, I'm familiar with the way that the schools are funded and how there are different departments for different funds for ways that you can spend money. I did not understand that when I was in the classroom. I was just like, why don't we have money? That's not what I said. Why we ain't got no money? That's what I would always say. But now that, just progressing over the years and working with different principals and being in different leadership roles, I understand that there are different pots of money for different things. My position is definitely threatened at times because of however much federal funding we are approved for. And then I'm reminded all the time that because I do have a doctorate, that means I'm pulling a lot of Title I funds from the school itself because the school would get that entire budget, and then some of it's human resources, which I would be, and then there's some of it that it goes to other areas. So I definitely try to do above and beyond to make it worth their dime.
Yeah,
All of
I
my
like to.
experience. Go ahead. I'm so sorry, Philip.
Sorry, got this now.
I was just going to say all of my experience, like yours, is in Title I schools as well.
Same.
Um, I will say that I am fortunate to have been in buildings to where even though I'm still in the classroom, I have administrators who will take the time and explain about the different pots of money and about the Title I process. And I have done a lot of work with the school improvement plan, and I understand how if it's not in the school improvement plan, we are not going to
Hmm.
get whatever it is that we want to do with the money. You can't just be out here willy nilly. It has to have been in your plan. And even so, it depends on that FTE count, whether or not you're going to get that funding. And a lot of people, like you say, within the classroom, they don't understand those different pots of money. And I will say that I've just been fortunate to be able to glean some of that information and understand where the pots of money come from, and understand that as someone having your doctorate, you are very fortunate that they keep you in that position
Mhm.
because of how much you cost with your doctorate, because I know, and years of experience, because it has been my experience watching other people have to shift around in Title I funded positions to find someone who can still do the job that costs less.
Yep.
So that's been my experience, just a lot of knowledge, and how fortunate that we are if we have that experience.
Right.
I was gonna say that so I'm in a very weird position. So currently I'm working as a high school teacher, but I'm also in working for the governor's honors program with Georgia. So I've been kind of exposed to two different sides of the budgets. What I've not really understood a lot about Title I schools. I did a lot of student teaching in Title I schools in Bibb County, but I didn't work in them per se, so I don't truly get their side entirely, which is why I kind of like this class right now. What kind of one thing I truly like never understood is like why in Houston County they're always like saying, oh well, we can't provide another teacher in your content area. Um, Even though, like, for example, we have like five Spanish teachers per every school. We have one French teacher for every school, but they continuously hire Spanish teachers instead of French teachers to make it more equitable, right? Um, I haven't fully understood why, because we have a high demand of students wanting to take French. Yet Houston County refuses to hire more of them because they continually tell us that, well, there needs to be one for every school in order to hire any of them. And I don't truly understand that either, because if that's the case, how exactly do we get them in the first place? 'Cause there's no way you're going to hire like seven French teachers in 1 year.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of the part I don't understand. When it comes to the way schools are funded in general, like a lot of it's kind of like piggybacking on what y'all said. I mean, the money comes from stuff like categorical grants. That I didn't truly understand at first, but the more I'm put into leadership jobs right now, I start to realize like, professional development, like I used to take advantage of this as a teacher a lot. And I was like, well, I thought of it was like an expectation in Houston County almost because it's something we always got. Yet this year they cut funds. So we haven't got that professional development, and now it's just kind of like going back to, oh, well, the teacher is ultimately responsible for their professional development for recertification. Um, so a lot of this starting to, I guess, click. And the more I like, read through our resources this week, it starts to click more as to like why we can't get certain things. One thing I tried to get recently was like more readers for our content area. Um, we didn't get readers, even though we have a grant that we just got for this kind of thing. Um, they claim that $1,000 towards readers is too expensive for an entire department. So we haven't gotten those. But ultimately I'm seeing how it all comes from a lot of different areas, and really they can't borrow from categorical grants, even if it's leftover money to use in other things, right? Um, but yeah, pretty much.
So, honestly, like listening to all of y'all right now was sounding like French. So I was like, Lord, like I'm not gonna lie, so when the course opened on Monday, I had time to like really start like looking through the course and looking through the different materials. So like I'm a visual learner, like, and like I can hear things auditorily and then see a picture of it. Got it. Man, they were talking about something in this first video, OBRQ. I was like, Lord, okay, so I'm gonna have to like really have like my notebook pencil down, because when it comes to like instruction, reflecting, those things, like different principles of leadership. Oh yeah, you got me. Yeah, I can do that. But we started talking about funding. I was telling my friend today, it's funny that this is a question, because I was telling my friend, I was like, girl, this course is like supervision of resources. I was like, I don't even be checking my bank account the way I supposed.
Uh-oh.
Girl, I just be out here swiping.
Until you get that e alert.
Look. And so
Listen,
I'm Definitely. I'm excited. Like right now in my position, I think I'm more so here about the Office of Federal Programs and just the money that we receive from that office, like that bucket of money, and how we can use that money to put on like professional developments for teachers and ensure like when in DeKalb over the summer we have a training called Nest Invest. So it's like a veteran special education teacher training, and then the Nest is the new special education teacher training. And so our funding from those 3-day trainings, like the teachers get paid the full day, it comes from the Office of Federal Programs. And so like I'm just now like I'm getting a lot of experience on like what the write-up is like what should be in there, and like just how meticulous the process is, even when we turn in the paperwork after the trainings, so that our teachers can get their money in time, because they'll send stuff back. Like a lot of times we're like going back and forth if paperwork isn't right or if a signature doesn't look right. So I'm learning about the like how tedious that process can be. So I feel like, I'm a little excited about this course. I ain't even I'm a little excited about it.
I will
Well,
say my
so
principals have always said the main things you want to do to keep your job is that make sure you keep aware of that budget. So you can let your personal budget fly, but you can't let the school's budget
Right. Yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
So in listening to everything you guys said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up with just focusing on the purpose and the goal of the Title I budget is to, because it's in the lower schools. So I've also only have worked in the Title I school. I've never worked in a school that was not Title I, but I understand that that money is used for the equity and closing the achievement gaps. So that's why we have to be so mindful with the allocation of the funds and how we're using them and making sure we're using them wisely, because the ultimate goal is to help our kids reach content mastery and close those achievement gaps. So that's my understanding of Title I.
Exactly. And that's how my position is actually used in Muskogee County. I know some districts actually hire instructional coaches either just for the entire district itself or just for the school or for the levels. But in ours, we have instructional coaches in every Title I school, and depending on what level those students are, that's why we actually have two in my school. And in some cases, in previous years, we've had four. For one for every single content area, or either for like lower grades, upper grades, that kind of thing. But exactly what you said. So we went over our 15 minutes like a long time ago, but that's a good thing because it means like we're meshing, right? And
Mhm.
locking in. So the last thing we need to do is set a virtual time for next week. I don't know if this time works for everybody each week and kind of keep it the same, or if we want to go week to week. This time works for
It
me.
works for me.
It was
It works for me.
I was just
Works for
sitting here
me.
writing down my meetings for next week. I was like, oh yes, Wednesday is great.
Yeah, I
yeah,
like Wednesdays. It's not too late because Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, I might not have the same spirit. So
right.
Wednesday,
So we want to meet next Wednesday again at 7:30.
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I want to say that on I don't know if y'all watched the first meeting. I know that Philip, I saw you on that first one. Did she say that it needs to be somebody different doing the link the next time? I
Yeah,
believe.
she said every time that we need to have a different person so that everyone's
Yes.
kind of putting in that shared responsibility.
I
Yes.
can
Okay.
do next week's.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I have enjoyed meeting you all and being the host for our first meeting. All right. So we are group 5, and I'm going to stop recording now.